I would like to be
an athlete.
an inspiring character. That would be what I would like to be.
You got to be a prick for. Do you know what I mean? Why you got to be a dick? You've gone for an emotion. I described my character.
It's just, what I'm saying.
Just describe your character. Don't be like, I want to uplift the masses when they read about
I'll
me.
describe him.
I don't know why you wanna treat me this way.
Hi,
Welcome
this is episode 40.
of the Bromantic Podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Gaz.
This is
Bromantic. And as we are doing these days, we're going to go straight in with your favourite dad jokes.
Ooh. So I was in the shoe shop this morning trying on a shoe. I said to the assistant, "It's no good, it's too tight." She said, maybe try it with the tongue out. I said, "It's no good." It's too tight.
That would have been a banging finish.
Yeah.
That would have been an amazing finisher. Oh, God, mine's going to be terrible now. You can't start with ones like that. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera.
Yeah, I think we've done that one before.
No, we haven't. It's blatantly no.
Just gonna nope. My son asked me, "Dad, do you know why it's so dark at night?" I said, "No, son."
You have got some bangers this week. You got some bangers this week. Oh, I'll just fucking put my phone
Do you know
away.
what the worst thing I've done though is they get progressively worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've started high.
That's fair. I mean, hopefully mine will get progressively better and we can just even out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It won't happen. Dear Math, grow up and solve your own problems.
God. My wife texted me. Just one word. Earth. It meant the world to me.
My son asked me, "Dad, can you put my shoes on?" I said, "No, don't think they'll fit."
That was better. Some people shave their heads for charity, but I decided instead to comb my hair in two opposite directions. I'm just trying to do my part. Sorry, that's great. That's fucking
Awful.
good. That's
Awful. A guy walks into a bar. He was immediately disqualified from the limbo contest.
good. I spent my entire life savings on pasta. It was worth every penny.
So shit. So bad. So bad.
Oh, God.
I like telling dad jokes. Sometimes he laughs.
Do you want a brief explanation of what an acorn is? In a nutshell, it's an oak tree.
What's the best way to catch a fish? Ask someone to throw it to you.
You know, it's silly, but I liked it. Why are skeletons so calm? It's impossible to get under their skin. Right,
You get progressively worse.
it gets downhill. I'll tell one
That's
more. One more
more
good
from
one.
that.
I get it. Yeah, I'll tell one more decent one, and then it just plummets.
Oh dear.
Oh no, actually, there are some good ones in here. I'll take it
Okay.
back.
All right, fair enough. Why do cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work.
I swear we've done that one as well.
No, we haven't.
Imagine a female pirate got a replacement boob. That would suck, wouldn't it?
There's far too much effort went into wooden tit.
The mental image of that joke is what gets
Grows on you. It grows on you.
It does.
Oh.
Sorry. I got way too into my joke there.
What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick.
There's a reason you should never go for a cheap circumcision. It's nothing but a rip-off. Mate, there's lots of reasons you shouldn't go for a cheap circumcision, honestly, but...
Why do mushrooms get invited to all the parties? Because they're such fun, guys.
Oh, God. You put that one in the list.
Love that.
The classic
I
of all
love
time.
that.
What do you call someone who is a master at baiting? A skilled seaman.
Yeah, hooked it. What did the cucumber say to the pickle? You mean a great deal to me.
Okay. Oh, that's really your best one. I bought shoes from a drug dealer once. I don't know what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day.
What do you call a magician that loses his magic? Ian.
That's such a good... Oh, I don't want to do another one now. That's such a good finish. Oh, damn.
Oh.
When 2 people have sex, it's a twosome. And when 3 people have sex, it's a threesome. And now I know why they call you handsome.
It's awful.
I enjoyed it. I like that one.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, loyal listeners, new listeners, and listeners from afar. If you are watching this for some reason, I don't know why, you probably have nothing better to do, so I won't discourage you too much. But please give us a little subscribe. Smash the notification button so you can know when we've uploaded stuff.
Yeah, that'd be jolly good. Also, we've got all the social media accounts: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Discord.
I think it's Bromantic Podcast on pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
But links are in the description below.
Yeah. You'll find them. They're out there. You'll see our ugly mugs. You'll know it's us.
They're beautiful. It's just beautiful
our
stuff.
Beautiful faces. Sorry.
Put yourself down, Ryan.
Don't know what I was thinking. Oh, I forgot what podcast this was. This is a Bromantic.
Big episode 40. This is what this is.
Yeah, gotcha.
The big episode 40. We're almost at a year. Isn't that mental?
That is, and do you know we've not missed an episode? We've not missed a week.
No.
When you
The podcast has not missed a week.
Can you just do pondering music?
Yeah. No, we haven't. The quest we've missed.
Yes, yeah. We missed one episode over Christmas.
You've not checked out the quest yet, and you quite like a little story, something nice and easy to listen to while you're having a drive or in bed, check out the quest. It's a kind of D&D styled storyline with Ryan as the Master DM and me as Gazmatraz the Barbarian.
It's quite wonderful. A couple of people have surprised
Geeky
me.
as fuck.
It is
What?
massively. Who I thought would watch the podcast, but they prefer the quest.
Yes, yeah.
I'll say to people, like, oh, are you upset with the podcast? They go, no, but I'm upset with the quest.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck?
Because the cliffhangers, mate. You leave them on cliffhangers.
I do leave people on cliffhangers.
It's
yeah.
really annoying. Like one of the comments today on one of the quests was like, how can you leave it a week? And I was like, how do you think I fucking feel?
Yeah, I know, yeah. It's fine for me. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. How do you think I fucking feel every time?
Look, just get over and watch it, all right?
Yeah.
That's what we want you to do.
Do your thing. Ryan, the fuck did you do to Goku?
Well, what I was meant to do was look for a stand. And then I did such a bad dad joke. Goku said, I'm not going to stand for that. Oh, God. And there he is laying down. The dad jokes don't stop when the dad joke segment finishes, all right?
I deal with this all the time.
There's plenty more in this tank. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah. If you do want any emails read out or you've got something you want us to discuss on the podcast, please feel free to email in. It's bromantic@mail.com.
And we'll talk about it.
We'll talk. I mean, we've got fuck all to talk about, so we'll talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally anything.
Unless it's the birds and the bees, because we're not really sure how that works. Also, in the comments down below. Why are you doing that face?
Go on, in the comments below. Ask them. Tell them.
If you had to choose a substance that you would change into, that can't melt, that you could change into a meltable substance, what would it be and why?
That is just... Good luck. What would you pick, first of all?
I think a non-meltable substance.
Something organic or cottony or something. Cotton is organic, but
Yeah.
nylon.
Um,
Nylon melts.
I would think probably wood. I think it would be very useful. It's boring as fuck, but
Why
wood.
melted would it be?
Peach.
Peach. You've confused me.
Could melt a peach down into all sorts of shapes.
Right, so we've moved off of wood to peach.
Yes.
Right, okay.
I wouldn't melt wood into a peach.
But that's why when I
That
went,
would be weird.
Why would wood be good? You went peach. I went, bro, you've lost me. You've completely lost me
Because
there.
of peaches, obviously.
Yeah, so my one was going to be fruit.
Mm.
Melting fruit down would be quite
banging,
good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
So, or cake.
If it's solidified again, do you think it'd solidify? It must solidify as its own thing, surely.
Must do, yeah.
So yeah, that's your. What would you melt and why? And what would you melt it into?
Emails?
Yeah, on your emails, guys. Do your thing.
Yeah. So.
No, do your thing.
Yeah. On our first email, and only, on our email, hello lovelies. As you may or may not know, I'm an avid reader. And in August last year, I took back up and devoured 46 books in 5 months.
Jesus.
That is some going.
Yeah.
And then again, I can get through a few Mr. Men in, you know what I mean? Not much time, so it's not that much to
I'll
gloat
read a
about.
book of art to my son.
Yeah, exactly. So this week, I've made an email book themed. I've made my email book themed. Question number 1. What does happy ever after mean to you?
In terms of books and stuff.
No, to you. Gaz, the human. What does happy ever after mean to you?
It's an ideal. It's what you should aim for, but is likely unattainable.
I see you're taking this question slightly differently. I don't think we want the definition. I think, what does it mean to you? What is your happy ever after?
See now, you've said that like they're the same question, but they're not.
No. I'm saying how you're taking it. I'm asking you.
What's my happy ever after?
Specifically, what is your happy ever after?
Cabin in the woods with the family. Enough money that I can live off the land and do whatever I want to do and become some sort of lumberjack woodland man.
Nice.
And just relax, chill with the family and my loved ones. Yeah. It's pretty easy-going life,
Yeah, I like that.
I think.
That is a strong happy ever after, yeah. Mine is to hopefully watch Atlas achieve whatever his dream is. That would be my happy ever after.
Okay.
I don't really mind what happens to me. As long
Yeah, but
as
it's your happy ever after.
that would be my happy ever after. I don't really mind what I have to go through to get him there. If I see that happen,
Yeah, but what position would you be in?
watching that happen,
Doing what?
don't care.
From a mansion? From a...
Don't care.
You do care. Because it's your happy ever after.
That would be it.
No, it's your happy ever after.
Yeah.
It's the what would you be doing?
Watching that happen. If I could go through my whole life, but as long as that bit happened,
So if you were watching from a tiny mini portable TV
yeah,
in a gutter, absolutely hammering down with rain with a newspaper on your head, you'd be like, "This is happy ever after."
if I watch him achieve his dream, right? For example, okay, because you're making it ridiculous. Obviously, I'd like to be there for his dream to be achieved,
There we go.
right? But that would be, which is why I said I'd like to see it happen. That's what I mean by that,
See it on a small telly or nose popes on your head.
live. Why are you making me like very pedantic about this? Everybody knew what I meant. Right. Well, this is a shit question for us, okay?
Oh god.
Well, it might be good for you. It's shit for me. What is one book you've read that's made an impact on your life/mindset?
Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. I didn't read it, I listened to it, but I'm an audiobook man.
So,
Yeah. Also, Ant Middleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what his book's called though.
Big Ant.
Big Ant Middleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his book as well.
Do you want to explain why?
I just think it's a great story of how he essentially changed himself and his mindset. And you can almost listen to him growing up as the story, as his kind of life story unfolds. Like he's this rebellious teenage, I'm the best in the fucking world, blah, blah, blah. And then transforms into this, you know, he's been in the army, he's like a team player, he's there for, you know, trustworthy, honest.
So
Do you know what I mean?
went for a lot to essentially become humble.
Yeah.
Fair. And what about Jordan Peterson's book? What was that?
I think it's a great, I would suggest it to all young men
Okay.
as a kind of way to change your mindset, to look at things in a different light. Because a lot of the stuff's very simple, but it's some stuff that gets overlooked. And it's just interesting. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he's a psychologist at the end of the day, isn't he? So I think it's very interesting. I think it's very worth young men particularly, I'm sure young women as well, if you want to, but young men particularly.
Actually, that's a really good point you bring up.
What?
About young women reading it as well. Do you think...
I think it's aimed at young men.
Yeah, but what about it would be aimed at young men? What is it that would make you think it's...
I mean, it kind of some of it talks about kind of hierarchy and stuff like that, which I think, I mean, it's going to sound really sexist. But
Yeah, but I think that's what's interesting about it,
like,
isn't it?
not that women can't be in a hierarchy, but I think it appeals more to men, that hierarchical structure and, you know.
Our mindset.
Yeah. And changing your mindset into like becoming a competent man and, you know, not just for yourself, but for those around you, for your partner, like becoming competent and becoming like the best you can be, but not in a way that's you just keep going, you keep fucking blah. It like really goes into it, really delves into, you know, do these things, get these bits in order before you try and do X, Y, Z, because without this foundation, you know, everything will crumble.
Specifically, then,
I just liked the different way of thinking, essentially, like makes you think of things a different way, and kind of makes you realize that some of the stuff you're doing that almost to you may not mean something, but does have a meaning. It's so cryptic.
No, I get what you mean. Some things you might think is pointless. Actually,
and you're kind of like, actually, like I'm doing this, or you're like, well, fuck, yeah, like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like
vice versa. Then.
Yeah, kind of like the make your bed in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Not saying I necessarily do that. You know what I mean? Like
I've heard lots of things.
It's
on that
it's that kind of like start the day with a clean. Do you know what I mean? And that's how your day will progress. Like keep your mind focused on, you know, clean, positive. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's fair.
Tidy mind. And he talks about lobsters, and I love lobsters.
Oh yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah, that does.
That's the only thing people pick up from that book is lobsters.
Really?
Oh mate, anyone that really reads it, people are like, or try and critique it, they're like, you talk about lobsters a lot. It's like, mate, come on.
Yeah, there's a fucking lot of information
and
in that book.
Literally, the only reason he mentions lobsters is because lobsters also have hierarchical structure in there.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's one of the most ancient.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? So
that's pretty
he
interesting
uses it
himself.
kind of as an example of how hierarchy has been around way before humans. So why are we trying to destroy a hierarchical structure within human life?
The fact that you bring that up, actually, not that I'm fucking Jordan Peterson, is actually something that I've pondered myself. I'd never really understand why we deem so much need for change in the way that civilization has been running and progressing for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Change in what way?
Like mindset and like progress and not being funny, but I like the woke movement of like equality, but equality, in my opinion, to a standard that isn't fair. Not, this might be, but and not fair for women. And I don't understand why the need would be there to change something that's been working. And obviously,
I think a lot of the starting point with like feminism and stuff like that and that kind of movement was because it wasn't fair.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think now, we're kind of on a level playing field laws wise, you know, it's not okay to do, you know, women can vote, women can do this, blah, blah. And, you know, I've heard all the arguments on why women couldn't vote previously and stuff. And, you know, that if men voted, they would have to be included in the draft and then, you know, the counterpoints and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I think it originated from, is that it wasn't fair. I think now we're at a point where it is fair and stuff like that.
I'm just a bit like, stop. Because I saw a really good court proceedings in America where someone was basically saying, if you want complete equality, why do we have women's leagues in sport? Why do we have that? We should just abolish them. Have one league, all genders.
No.
Why don't we just do that?
Because it would just be men.
Because no women, yeah, it would. And Venus and Serena Williams, I remember them saying, like, when there was a thing about tennis about this, and they were like, we absolutely don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, we're the best in the world, and we would get smashed. Yeah. We wouldn't even get into, like, the quarterfinals. Like, it's pointless.
Well, I mean, they said they were. No, they didn't say. Didn't Venus or Serena, I can't remember which one, get beaten by like a college?
I don't know if it was
level
college,
player.
but I know it was like a lower level tier. Yeah.
Like a lot lower than like.
Because they like the power. You just can't combat that.
Yeah. Well, she said it was a different game, didn't she?
Yeah.
She said it's a completely different game. Men's tennis, women's tennis, two different games.
And what football team was it that got beaten by Australia's under 14?
Yeah. It was like the World Cup team.
Do you know what I mean?
Women's World Cup team or something.
And this isn't a knock on women by any way at all. Like, but there should be the separation, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? In all other walks of like work and this, that, and the other, complete equality right the way through.
I mean, my main thing with that has always been, I agree with equality and equality of opportunity.
Yeah.
So everyone should have the opportunity to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? I don't think people should be given handouts or favours or anything like that.
No.
But everyone should have an opportunity to do certain things or anything they want to do. I don't understand why it's almost forced upon people now to not play to their strengths.
That's what I mean. That's what I don't get.
It's like, oh, you'd be really good at this, but the patriarchy wants you to. Like, come on, man. Like,
there's always been my thing as well with like, whoever's doing the job, I just want the best person for it.
100%.
Like, I don't care
Agreed.
about anything else. I just want the best person to do that job. That's all I want. It's like in a football team. Like, you would just pick the best 11 players in that team. It wouldn't matter at all to you about anything other than who's the best players for those positions. And like, that's what I want in all jobs and everything like that. Like, I don't want checklists and this, that, and the other. As long as everyone's got equal opportunity, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
But thanks. Books.
What book would you like?
She's done it again.
Annika has managed the tangent.
Goodness me. But slightly better subject than ice baths this time.
Is it though?
I mean, valid point. My book that had an impact on my life and mindset.
I'm trying to think of a really sexist book. I can't think of one.
No? That's because you're not sexist. That's why you can't think of one. So, my book is Women and Why They're Useless. Nah, it's... No, so...
Have you... Sorry, I got on a tangent here.
Go.
Have you ever seen the old books from like the fucking 60s or whatever it was?
It's the 50s and 40s, isn't it?
Oh, mate. I read them and I'm like, the world would be a better place.
No,
it's crazy.
Honestly, I
Don't
read
make
stuff
too
like
much
that.
noise when he comes home.
So, when I read stuff like that, this is where the feminist movement was just...
Oh, mate, 100% needed.
Mate,
like, 100% needed.
I can't believe that it didn't happen sooner, really.
How was that a thing that people believed?
I saw a comedian the other day being like, yeah, that's it. You waited till we went through 2 world wars and then you come out and went, hey, maybe we should be equal. And I love stuff like that. And I think, but massively, when I used to see stuff like that, I'm like, bro, that is just bang out of order.
Although I did watch, there was some TikToks I watched the other day of quite a few women doing the like, hating on the women's rights movement. Now I've got to work fucking 40 hours a fucking week doing X, Y, Z, providing for myself. Oh, we couldn't open the doors and get stuff bought for us. You wanted to go to fucking work. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but this is the thing with things like this, isn't it? Not all women want that.
No.
Some women just want to be stay-at-home wives and stuff like that. Like, this is why, like, when you shouldn't stereotype in any way on any of these things.
What something really gets on my nerves is, and it's the media more than, I don't think women in general, although
agree
some
with
women
that.
do,
Yep.
the media more than anything almost puts down the importance of a stay-at-home mum or motherhood, or, you know, the importance of having the mother of the child there, because they want to exchange it for this boss bitch. You go out and work, do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay at home and raise your child, you want to raise our next generation. That's not important.
Exactly. Well,
Do you know what I mean?
upon that note, when we do Dad Talk later,
Yeah.
bring that back up, because I had something
Okay.
that I've been thinking about for a couple of weeks
Ah.
regarding the Dad Talk.
Okay.
And it's But
All right.
anyway,
Fair enough.
but the book for me that I've only ever listened to 3 books. And none are very interesting. But I have listened to 2 Greek mythology books narrated by Stephen Fry. Loved them.
Yes.
Mythos and the stories of Heracles and other heroes.
I've listened to Mythos as well.
Yep. If anyone's going, well, how can that change your life or your mindset? My son is called Atlas. A Greek titan.
Yes.
And I love mythology.
That's fair.
And funnier enough, I think a lot of decisions that I make and things that I do, when it's like design or opinion or anything like that, is often based around Greek mythology. One of the other names that me and my wife have been talking about for if we have another boy is Adonis. So I know that some people are going to be like, "Oh, that's a bold choice."
When you say some people, you mean the man looking at you?
Yeah. I know you're not
Adonis.
keen on that.
Jesus.
Atlas and Adonis. It's only on the drafts. Do you know what I mean? But
Keep it there.
yeah, I love the name. I would have loved to be called Adonis. So
I bet you would.
next question.
But here's the reason I don't like Adonis. And I'm sure you won't produce an ugly child,
Yeah,
because Atlas is genuinely a beautiful boy.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
However, if you call him Adonis and he is not good looking, you fucked him. If you call him Adonis and he's good looking and he puts on a bit of weight, he's fucked him. It's the same reason I would love to call my son Hercules, but I can't risk that he's a little weedy fuck, because it just doesn't work.
Well, I took the risk of Atlas.
This is Hercules.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, but it's just a name, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Hitler's just a name.
Yeah. Caught me off guard with that one.
Can't call him that.
Yeah, no, okay. Interesting that you say that. That comes with negative connotations, though. However, no,
Samson.
you've trumped me with that. I've got to lie. Can't lie.
I love the name Samson.
So Samson is a great name as well, and that's on the drafts.
Again, if they're not strong. Although I think you can get away with it with Samson more than you can Hercules.
The reason I don't like it is it's biblical.
Bro, we're talking about books. I've got to tell you something. And if Mum and Dad, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry.
Okay.
So my mum and dad are quite religious, obviously.
Quite.
I say obviously, but they bought Elijah his first Bible. Right?
Oh, okay.
Which fine, got no issue with it.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
as I've said in like previous podcasts, I've wanted to learn about all religions and everything, so I've got no issue, with him having his first Bible. Bro, I want to bring this into you and read you some of the thing. The indoctrinating wording of this book
Really?
is unbelievable. So, my missus, Jade, she read to him the first night we got it, because it's his new book, he wants to read it.
Right, the Bible.
She started reading, and it's obviously my first Bible, so it's not the full
okay.
Bible.
Gotcha,
it's
gotcha.
like a kid's, like whittled down version.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
when I tell you, if you leave a kid alone to read this, it will indoctrinate them into Christianity.
No.
Bro, honestly.
Bring that in.
I will ring it in and I'll read it. I'll just screenshot you. So it's like very much so-and-so was punished because he did not obey God. Blah, 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 blah. And then at the bottom of the page, it has a question at the bottom of each page. What ways do you obey God? Like, and I'm like reading through some of the stories. I'm like, okay, fine, blah, blah, that's fine, and all this lot. Some of them, I'm like, bro, this is literally just you're essentially targeting young minds
Yeah.
and being like, read this as your first Bible.
And
You will become a Christian.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Adam was ejected from the garden because he didn't obey God. That was bad. Like, Jesus.
Oh.
Blasphemy. But yeah, honestly, it's mad. I completely forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
It was quite a while. I should have bought it from like Christmas or
Did
something.
they read it?
No, it was in like...
Have you said to them?
No, not mentioned it to them.
Okay. Interesting, that is, yeah.
But yeah, just... Because, Jade read it to him first night. Came in and said, like, I don't really like that. Like, I don't like the wording and stuff. And I was like, oh, come on. Like, it's probably just the Bible.
Yeah.
Like, and because one of the things she said to me was like, I don't like the word obey in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get it, but it's kind of a religious thing. Like, I've been brought up with the Bible and stuff like that. So obey just doesn't really. I'm like, you just, do as you're told, sort of thing. And then I read it to him and I was like, she's right. She's right. The wording here is mental.
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
Absolutely mental.
They know what they're doing, them Christians.
Oh, mate. Crafty Christians.
Yeah.
That's crafty God followers.
Goodness me.
Yeah. Sorry, I just
So I don't like the name Samson because it's biblical. You see, you're proving my point.
They also completely ruin the story of Samson.
Oh, do they? Nuts.
But they do concentrate on the fact that Samson loved God, and so God gave him strength.
Fine, I love God.
Oh, God, your muscles.
Yeah. Suddenly my hair flies out.
Don't cut it.
Yeah. No, I just
The dumbest guy. He's such a thick cunt, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Honestly.
What I hate is he's the fucking stereotype of strong people. I hate that.
What is it that would make you lose your strength? I cannot remember what the three things were that he did first. Like, so wrap me up with a basket, like wicker basket or some shit. She does it. He breaks out of it immediately, and she's like, "You lied to me." And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
God.
What is it then? Oh, should I tell her? What the fuck are you doing?
I don't even really know the story of Samson that well, only from a movie that I watched when I was much younger.
Do you want me to tell you the story of Samson?
Is it interesting?
I mean, it's a funny story.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so Samson and Delilah is the story, official story. So Samson is given godlike, like, is unbelievably strong.
Yeah.
Best warrior, best fighter, blah, blah, blah. Meets a woman called Delilah. Delilah is hired by, I believe, the Palestines to basically fuck Samson up.
We're already on rocky ground.
Might be the Philistines.
Okay.
Philistine.
Let's go with the Philistines.
Philistines.
Let's do that. Let's just go with them.
I think it's the Philistines.
Nice. Good save.
No, I think it genuinely is. I'm just with current wars. Current
affairs.
Yeah, the Philistines or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So she's got to find out how to get rid of his strength.
Right.
So she does her thing with him, asks him what it is. He tells her a lie. He lies to her and says, "Oh, it's this." She does it to him. He wakes up in the morning, finds out that she's done it, and then is like, "The fuck are you doing?" She basically gaslights him into being like, "You lied to me."
Wow.
Yeah. Then she asks him again, and he goes, "It's this," and lies to her. And she does it again. And then the third time, exactly the same thing happens, and he lies to her. So what he thought was a great plan is the next day, he tells her the truth. He doesn't want to lie to her. And the truth is that he cuts his hair. If he cut his hair, he'll lose his strength. So, yeah, he loses all his strength. And then the Philistines capture him because obviously he's now a weak man. They tie him up and tie him between two pillars and prays to God to give him his strength back, and then kills himself and everyone around him by pulling the pillars down to the temple. He kills all the Philistines and kills himself.
Oh. Cool.
Love you, Jesus.
Yeah. What's
So
the moral?
basically, do as you're told.
Yeah.
Don't tell people the secrets I've given you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll make you kill yourself.
I don't really get the moral of that story at all.
That if you love God,
Also.
he'll bless things upon you. Don't you dare disobey him and cut your hair.
That's such a weird thing to disobey.
Don't disobey him and cut your hair.
I always think the fact that Jesus turned water into wine is an interesting story in itself.
Yeah?
I always think,
Scientist. what do you
surely
want?
he should have been turning wine into water. That should have been his... He should have been like, that's bad for you.
I think the thing of that was that water was plentiful.
and wine was bad for you.
Yeah, so it was just like a little miracle. Like, cool.
Should have turned it into some
We're
fizzy
running
pop.
out of wine at this party. Here you go.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, that's essentially what happened.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what I mean? Like that's not a good story.
Each their own, mate. If you want to drink loads of water, drink it. You don't even like water.
No, I don't want
Shut
water.
up, Brian.
I'm saying that the Bible shouldn't have been doing that.
Pray for you.
Thanks.
Anyway, what's your book that you really like?
Where are we now?
We're still on book.
Right, next question.
Thanks, Annika.
Off the top of your head, if you were to write a book, what would be your main theme? I.e. romance, kink, thriller, sci-fi, adventure, fairy tale, and 3 plot points. Do you know what's really interesting? I've written a book. Or began writing a book.
Did you?
Yes. And then
Did you?
So I have a whole book.
No.
Yes.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So essentially, it's actually quite similar to how I started off the quest because I find that very interesting. And it's about these, I don't know how many lands now. I think it was like 11, and they basically did everything in hand-to-hand combat to settle wars and everything like that. They would hold tournaments rather than wars to save lives. There's like an agreement in place, and there was a boy. That was sort of found, there was an interesting way at the time, can't remember now. And he's taken in by the local boxing gym and he's taught to fight, this, that, and the other. And it's his story of how he's raised to be one of the greatest fighters in his own land. He fights tournaments on his own land. Then he goes to these other tournaments, but then there is a war waged. So he has to enter these like other tournaments and fight his way through, where he comes across like beasts and like half men, half gods and stuff like that. And then obviously eventually he rises to the top, where he finds out he's nothing to his land but a fighter. So even though he's won them all these wars and this, that, and the other, he's essentially just like put in almost like a cell at the end of it. And then it's about his contemplation and what he's going to do next, where he makes his own like rebellion against the king or whatever it was at the time, and fights his way to free the people and whatnot. And that was my book that I wrote.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And where can we get this book, Ryan?
Do you know what? It's on a laptop somewhere.
We must find this.
Yeah.
We must publish it.
Yeah. Does it sound alright?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Oh, does it?
I was there.
Yeah.
I'm there
Well,
for
I
it.
told my mum about it at the time, and she was like, "The thing is, Ryan, I don't know a book like it."
Mm.
She was like, "So it's quite original in itself,
Yeah.
and might appeal to the people." But so,
I'd read it.
yeah, I appreciate that.
If anything, just give it to me.
Yeah.
Let me read it.
It's a birthday present next year.
There you go. Make
I
an
wrote a full
No.
book for
If
you.
it's a birthday present, make it an audiobook.
Oh god, yeah.
Read it to me.
Crikey. That's all these. The next, we'll add on a third podcast, which
There
is
you
me
go,
reading
see?
a book to you.
Game. I also wrote a book, and my book.
I know. I felt really sorry for you because this is off the top of your head, and I've got a book that I thought about, and you're going to be like, so.
So in my book, it's about. Can you tell you the plot of Finding Nemo then? About fish.
Marlon.
I'll tell you what. If I was to write a book, I always find, I don't know if you've watched the Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, the one where they're both frozen on a ship, and then he wakes her up. Have you watched that film?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Gravity.
I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So that kind of thing's always interested me, like people waking up from stasis and being kind of like, the fuck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That in a kind of fantasy setting.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if I'm going to write a book, it's always going to be to do with barbarians and fantasy and mythical beings and
That's fair.
all that. So, yeah, something that combines those kind of things. So almost like a mythical horror, if that, or thriller, mythical thriller.
Yeah.
Because, I'd want something mythical and stuff like that, but I think all mythical books and films and all that are essentially, these are the big people, these are the baddies, let's fight them. That's the end of the thing. Yeah. But I'd quite like kind of a psychological thriller set in a mythical setting.
Yeah.
Bit Pan's Labyrinthy, if you like.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff, yeah.
I think that's Can't give you 3 plot points. I can't give you fuck all else. That's it.
Yeah. But, I mean, to be honest with you, that's good enough. Also, my mum strongly recommends that we make the quest a book.
Yeah.
She reckons it'd be really great as a book.
When you say we, when you make the quest
Yeah, I
book,
was going to say, yeah.
I'll write chapter 2.
Yeah. I'll write the intro.
Yeah. Just to clarify, my book would have lots of pictures.
Can you draw?
No.
I didn't say good pictures.
Hey,
I said
no,
pictures.
don't do that. Don't do it.
Why you hurt me? All right, last question. It's clear neither of you would be supporting characters, so what kind of male main characters do you think you would be?
I'd like to be like a timid, small, like in the background. The guy you didn't expect. But it's like that. Gazima tries the barbarian.
No one bought a second of that, did they?
If it's going to be me, obviously I'm going to be a huge, hulking, great barbarian, yes. Obviously. I'm very one-dimensional.
That's cool. That's fine. Oh, you can be that. That's great.
What are you going to be?
I would like to be
An athlete.
an inspiring character. That would be what I would like to be.
Why you got to be a prick for? Do you know what I mean? Why you got to be a dick? You've gone for an emotion. I described my character.
It's just what I'm saying.
Just describe your character. Don't be like, I want to uplift the masses when they read about
I'll
me.
describe him. Inspiring, aspirational, go-getter. You know, like, even if it's, it doesn't have to, it can be like,
No, please, carry on.
whether it ranges from someone like Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness,
Oh, of course, yes.
an inspiring character, or Tom Cruise in Top Gun, like, that's the range.
Yeah.
Anywhere in between. It can just be Thor from, anything that's just...
I'll be Grug from the Avengers.
Grug.
Is his name Grug?
Who the fuck is
Grog?
Grog?
Glog. Clug.
Groot?
No. I know who Groot is.
Drax?
No. From the Avengers.
Oh, from the Avengers.
Yeah. Clug? Clog. Grog?
I think you're mugging me off here, aren't you?
Yeah, the big stone guy.
The Thing?
No, the Avengers.
Big stone guy.
The big stone guy that meets Thor in the arena. That's South African.
Oh! Yeah. I think you're right. It is...
I'll be that guy. So while Ryan's out there inspiring the masses,
Yeah.
I'll be making funny quips on the side.
Yeah. Sorry. I had no idea talking about. Clearly, no idea.
I don't even know what his name is, but you made me doubt myself so much. It was like Grog, Clug.
No, you are right.
Grog.
It's one of those.
Something like that.
Yeah. All my love and admiration as always.
Love you. Thank you for that.
That's beautiful. We
We
appreciate
can never
you.
stay on topic when she emails.
Yeah, I know. It's just forget it because just whatever. Just say what you want, mate. We don't ever stay on topic with those.
We've got a new segment we're going to try out. If it works, let us know in the comments. It's a bit of Am I the Arsehole? So obviously you probably read these in the comment in like Facebook posts and all sorts before.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read you one. I'd like your very honest opinion.
Just a yes or no, yeah?
No, yeah. Please, yeah.
Yeah.
Just let me read the entire thing and just go, yep.
Yep, you're the arsehole. Yeah. That's what I thought you wanted from me.
That's all I want.
Oh, sorry.
So just starting off with the title of this.
Oh, God.
You can pretty much sum it up. Am I the arsehole for not telling my wife how to dress?
I'm not going to enjoy these already.
Me, 34, my wife, Kay, 32, met my sister Sarah, 25, and her new boyfriend. We've never met him before, for an early dinner. Afterwards, my wife and I went to listen to live music at a nightclub. My wife wore a leather miniskirt, tee, jacket, and solid tights, and boots to the restaurant. It's winter, so the tights had those fuzzy lining underneath, so like leggings, basically. My sister doesn't talk much during dinner, but texts me afterwards about my wife dressing like a whore when meeting her new man. A crazy rant that I blocked her and enjoyed my night. Your face. The argument continued with my mum because my sister called her about my wife's skirt. If you need a reminder of our ages, please see the above paragraph. I laughed at my mum, and my mum said it was kind of disrespectful for my wife to wear a miniskirt, and she could see why my sister was upset. That's mental. That's mental. Sometimes I read these and I think, who are these families?
God.
Like, who are they? My mum told me next time I should tell my wife to wear pants or something around my sister. I told my mum I'm 100% not telling a 30-plus-year-old woman how to dress and that my sister needs to stop thinking she can make crazy demands of people. My mum accused my wife of seeking attention, and I said, what about my sister calling you to tattle on people? My mum called me an arsehole for not seeing my sister's point of view on this. I also have not unblocked my sister from my phone, and my mum insists that I should in case of an emergency. I said I would unblock her when she acts like an adult. Now my mum and my sister aren't speaking to me over the miniskirt that I didn't even wear. Am I the arsehole?
No.
Absolutely not.
Fucking hell. For
Where
one,
is your family from?
Yeah. Like, for one, she's worn, like, tights that are, like, completely not see-through, not slutty, do you know what I mean? Not anything like that.
Leggings. She's worn leggings with a
essentially
skirt.
with a skirt, yeah. Like, people these days go out in just leggings.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Right, here's what bothers me about this scenario. So there are two ways this has gone from the sister's point of view. Mm-hmm. So first one, she's looked at the outfit and gone, oh, she looks really good. Like, my boyfriend's probably looking at her, which means address your own fucking insecurities and sort your life out. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The second thing is, the boyfriend's been doing this all night. Mm-hmm. She's noticed. Yeah. And instead of saying to her boyfriend, you realise I'm fucking standing right here, she's gone, your wife's trying to tempt my fella into... Like, there's no possible way this could be like...
It's not... Like, the thing is, the outfit isn't even... That's what's doing me in.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's like, yeah, no, she did wear something a bit provocative and, you know, maybe I should ask her to tone it down. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
It's like, she wore completely normal clothing.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and I think... Yeah, like, not being funny. You're not. I keep going like I'm going to speak to this person. Like they're going to hear me, but fucking mate, just carry on.
Yeah,
like,
it's unreal. Like the amount of fucking the gall of this woman.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, wife's a bit of a whore, isn't she?
And then the mum.
Yeah. Sometimes I think these families must be made up. That can't be real.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot imagine a single person I know that would call their mum and go, oh, you know, he had a girl with him and she was dressed a bit provocatively and my boyfriend was staring at him. Yeah. And mum would be like, well, tell your boyfriend to sort the fuck out then.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. She's not the issue here.
Yeah, like,
because I tell
absolutely
you what,
not.
She's not the worst that she's gonna come across. Like, fucking hell, like.
Also, they went to a nightclub. What the fuck was everyone else wearing?
Do you know what I mean? Oh god, it upsets everything about that upsets me.
Yeah.
And I also do think like giving an opinion to what your missus is wearing is one thing.
Yeah.
But for one, be a gentleman about it.
Yeah.
And for two, she can wear whatever the fuck she wants. Yeah. Like, you've married her. You full well know that human. Like, I just think there are so many elements to this that, you know... Because if he turned around and said, I don't really like those shoots that you're wearing, like, you know... And she went, oh, well, you know, I like them. And you go, oh, fair enough, yeah, like, there's no problem. I'm just letting you know my opinion. I think that's one thing. But to be like, you can't wear that because my sister might.
Yeah, I think there's a very definitive difference between demanding something and letting someone know your opinion.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, I would never say to my missus, you cannot wear that.
I'll give you a good example. I personally don't like belly button piercings.
Okay.
It's just, I don't understand it personally. My missus, when I met her, had one. She now doesn't wear one. I've never told her to take it out. I've never said anything like, oh, you can't wear that around me. But I literally brought it up to the other day and said, how come you don't wear that anymore? She said, oh, just because I know you're not really that bothered about it. So,
and I think it shows a respect of your opinion as well.
Yeah.
Like, when we first started going out, me and my missus, she used to wear like, I think it was like the thing back then. It was like the fashion back when we were young. But it was like she would wear a bra and then like a mesh top over the top, mesh tops. When we got together, she used to go out and do stuff and all that. And I said to her, like, I don't like those. I don't like it. Like, do you know what I mean? I think you're a bit too on show. That it just kind of makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. Like, because I don't go out with her all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
And yeah, she stopped wearing them. And it wasn't in a way of like you can't wear that out anymore. Do what you want, like. But I'm just letting you know that, like, I don't really like. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, everyone else looking at your boobs. I'll be honest.
Yeah. I think to be honest.
And then I trained her to the wall.
I've got too many fights over it now.
Look, mate, I don't want to batter another person. I can't keep doing this.
Yeah. But I do think letting someone know your opinion, letting someone know what they can and can't do to you such
Yeah,
drastic
absolutely,
differences. But 100%, that guy's not an arsehole. And if you are anyone at home and someone is demanding you to wear certain things or not wear certain things, I really think you should take a little look at your relationship with that person.
Absolutely.
Unless you're into being told what and what not to do, which is fine as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't let people demand.
It's a rocky road to go down.
Yes.
It starts with that kind of thing and will only develop more.
Yes, so please, that's a red flag.
Yeah,
in my
100%.
opinion.
Yeah.
So be aware of that.
Especially,
ladies and gentlemen.
it's very important the way you're told as well.
Yes,
I think.
yeah. Like I said, if
Massive
someone
red
sits
flag.
down with you and they just kind of say, I really don't like it, you know, but if someone's been like, you can't wear that, that's, different. So, that was a good one, actually.
I've got another one if you want one.
Yeah, crack on.
Yeah. Am I the arsehole for telling my oldest that when he turns 16, he won't get an allowance anymore? I have 3 kids. My oldest is 15, and it's about him. Originally, I've given all of my kids an allowance for how old they are. For example, my 7-year-old gets $7 a week. Right now, my oldest gets $15 a week to use for whatever. I still pay for necessities, but I will not be buying a new video game if it's not their birthday or a holiday. Overall, it's been good. My eldest is going to turn 16 in the summer. Today, I informed him that he will be able to get a job soon. When he turns 16, I will be stopping his allowance. This resulted in a huge argument, and he thinks that I'm a huge jerk, but my argument is that he can work and will make more money working once a day than the allowance. Am I the arsehole?
Obviously, extenuating circumstances on this. Number one, if he's in education, I do feel it's a bit harsh until he's 18. And then if he wants to go to uni, I think once you're 18, then you can work. You can do a job whilst doing university, blah, blah, blah. I do think that. If you're 16 and you're not going into further education, totally agree the allowance should stop. And that person should definitely get a job. I don't think they're an arsehole anyway. I think they're very kind that they've been giving them that much allowance anyway.
$15 a week?
Yeah, that's very kind.
Mad.
Very kind. So I feel like that person should just be grateful that they've been given that kind of money throughout anyway. You've obviously raised a bit of a brat there, to be completely honest.
It's the problem with them feeling entitled to it. That's the issue. You know.
I do also feel the communication side of this may be an issue. If they've always been told, once you're 16, this will stop. If they're like nearly 16 and then been told, it's going to stop now. They're going to be like, well, I didn't fucking know that was going to happen, that type thing. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, if they were like 12 and they were told, just so you know, when you're 16, this is going to stop, like we're giving you years of notice in advance, then I think,
I also think, and obviously we don't know from the story that's been told there.
Here.
I think it's really important, personally, that your kids earn their allowance and it's not just given to them.
Hugely agree with that.
Because I think you end up with situations like this if they're just given because they then feel entitled to it. They feel entitled that they should get XYZ a week for doing nothing. Like, you need to earn your allowance. And I don't mean like earn it, I did good at school. Can I have? No, you earn it. You put some work in, around the house, do something, whatever. You can earn your allowance.
So one thing my parents did, and I think it was bad, it was incorrect for me, it didn't work for me at all, is when we got our grades at the end of the year, we got like a little bit of money if we got an A or blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
The problem is that's a year away every time.
Yeah.
So you got to work an entire year, and it was too far.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't work for me. I was just like, it's a year away. I can't be bothered to do all that.
And then the last 2 months you go, I'll change everything.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like it wasn't good enough.
Become a perfect student for 2 months of the year.
So I think it's great what you're saying, where like, you have to do something consistently. Every week you need to do this or that or whatever. What do you feel about awarding, say your son plays football or rugby or whatever. He's in a position where scoring goals or tries or whatever is like a regular occurrence or something he's capable of doing. Would you ever give him rewards, money, whatever, for scoring goals or tries or whatever?
No.
You would never do that?
No. Specifically, we're talking about teams like games like team sports.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Because I think it would change how he played the game. He would become a greedy player. He'd become one of those people that's like, I'll get a fiver every time I score a try. It prevents him from becoming a better player and noticing, certain openings or other people on the pitch, because all he's concentrated on is, I've got to score this goal.
That's a really fantastic point. Yeah. What about effort? if you watched all his games, which I'm sure you would, and every time you said, if I feel like you've really given it your all in this game, I'll give you a tenner. Was that something you think you do, or do you think it's not required? You don't think they should play for the money? You think it's just play
I think it would depend on the passion for me. So if he's something he's really passionate about, and I feel like he needs, but I don't think he'll need encouragement. If he's passionate about it and he loves doing it, I don't think giving him a monetary incentive is necessary.
Right.
Because I feel like he should do it because he loves it. The risk I think you run if you start rewarding effort with money is that he'll just do it for the money.
Yeah.
Like he won't do it because he likes it anymore, or, you know, he won't have any passion for it. And then say he wants to go and become a pro.
Yeah.
And he starts playing at, I don't know, college or school or whatever, or for another team.
Yeah.
And you're not there. University, say, for example.
Yeah.
And then he'll just, like, is he going to care if he's not getting paid for it?
Yeah.
Like what? Like he's going to have to ring me up and be like, I did really well this game. Can I have a tenner? Like,
it's interesting, isn't it?
I think I understand the motive behind it is to encourage effort.
Yeah.
But I think by doing it with money, I think it's a rocky road because I don't think it sets a very good example for like pursuing a passion.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about it and you like it and you love it, carry on.
I'd agree with that, but it does reward effort,
Yes.
which I think is a large...
But then I think almost the reward of effort should be winning.
Yeah, but this is why I'm putting it to a team sport.
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't always get a win. You can put in maximum effort
Yeah, of course.
and walk away with a loss. But then is that not a lesson in itself? Yeah.
I learn
okay.
from your failures.
Yeah. So you think really the best way to give... mate, we have not even spoken about if that person's an arsehole yet. The best way to give... to give pocket money, that's what we're on, an allowance is through mainly household chores and jobs and stuff like that. Things that are monotonous and boring.
Yes, things that
have
you
to
don't
be
necessarily... Like a job. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's essentially what you're preparing them for.
Yeah.
And I think the main job of a parent is prepare your child for life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, life is like that.
Yeah.
You go and do a monotonous, boring, shitty job for shit money.
Yeah, well,
Do you know what I mean? Or whatever you do. Now, you know, you go and do that. You work for it, you work hard, and you get paid for it. Like, this is the reward for you doing those things you didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Go and spend it on what you want to spend it on.
I think where that's fantastic as well is I did no chores growing up, and I'm essentially a useless fucking human. So I do think saying like, right, this is something you're going to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
You're going to learn how to do your washing. You're going to learn how to do, you know, all the boring chores and jobs and stuff that need to be done, and then adding bits to that.
Yeah.
Say, for example, it was like, right, you can do the family's washing, you know, not just your own or blah, blah, blah. And we're going to pay you an extra £1 or £2 for it, blah, blah, blah. And I think things like that are really good. A little bit of incentive, get a little bit of extra work
Yeah.
in.
I also think it almost brings a sense of family and community. If everyone is chipping in and everyone's working around the house and, you know, I'll take care of that, don't worry. Do you know what I mean? I'll do that. Like, I've got it. I think it brings a sense of, it's not like the kids are royalty, mum and dad are doing everything for them.
Yeah.
You know, we're all here. We all need to crack on and get this done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For this house to work.
Yeah. I think people would argue, I'm going to play devil's advocate now.
Go for it.
I can. People would argue that you shouldn't have to pay them to do things that they should do, which I think is an interesting point
And
as
I
well.
wouldn't pay them for things they should do.
But do you not think just doing household chores is something they should do?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
and-
Yeah.
Yes and no. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's their job to do it.
Okay, yeah.
In a way. So I think as a parent, your job is to take care of them. They're not royalty. I'm not saying you have to treat them like kings and queens, but your job is to take care of them. So those household chores realistically are kind of yours. But if they want to get paid, they can help out around the house. They can do these bits and pieces, which is why I would reward that effort. I would also I think I would make it very clear to them that I don't have to, but if they don't get paid. Do you know what I mean? I do a similar thing with my son at the moment when he comes to the office with me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he's at my office. He's got like a little desk. He's got like workbooks and stuff under the desk where, you know, it's just practicing his writing and stuff like that. He's 5, so practicing his writing or his reading or whatever. And he always has the option when he comes that he can play, he can, watch his tablet, he can run around and play with his action figures or whatever while I work, or he can sit at his desk and do some work. If he sits at his desk and does some work, then he'll get paid for it. Yeah. And it's almost like a day's work for him. Like he comes in and does a day's work, he'll get paid. If he doesn't and decides to just faff, he doesn't get any money.
That's fair. That's that's exactly it, isn't it? So for me, that gives him choice as well. You can earn money, you cannot.
And then his birthday happened. No, he doesn't need any fucking money.
Yeah, well, so interesting thing about that. So what we're going to do is, I was never really taught how to save money. No, I'm terrible at it. So every pound that he ever earns or is given or whatever the case is, he will have to put half of it into saving.
Yep.
So that way, whenever he reaches 16 or whatever that we decide, okay, you can have that money now. Probably 18, to be honest with you.
We've gone 25, so
25. 25.
Surely.
So his savings account, we'll probably give it to him later, but this is his money.
Oh, okay, got
so
you.
This is half of everything.
I thought you meant it was going into savings.
Yeah, no. So it's his. It's all his.
Yeah.
Half of everything he'll ever get. So birthday money, everything, until he's of 18 or something like that. We'll teach him, that you can get by, but also put money away. Blah blah blah. And I think that personally, allowance everything. If we do allowance, or if we do, earnings of money, or whatever. Because I don't agree with allowance. I don't think it should just be given money for nothing. I do back that. It does teach responsibility, but I do think it has to be earned.
Yeah. They've got to know that money isn't free.
Yes.
Like the value of money is you put that work in, you get that money. Yeah, it's not just handed to you.
Yeah. So I don't think they're an arsehole.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we got to discuss. I completely forgot that was the thing.
Yeah. So I think the problem is that we've covered loads of ground that would make them an arsehole.
I think they are and they aren't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I think they've if it's what I think it is and he's just been doing, right, this is what you get, blah, blah, blah. And then as he's realised they're turning 16, he's made this, oh, by the way, when you turn 16, blah, blah, blah. I think, yes, you are the arsehole. What you've done has created this. Yeah. You're not necessarily an arsehole for what you want to do, but in the build-up, you're kind of reaping what you've sowed, essentially.
Definitely, that's the right expression, yeah. Made a rod for your own back.
That's the one. It's such a gem. You made a rod for your own back. You kind of promised them X, Y, Z money. Money's all of a sudden going to go boom, and you're going to go, you have to work for it now.
Yeah.
They're 16. They've already used to this now.
Yeah. They definitely. So you've got, especially with children, I always think you can't just spring things upon them.
Yeah.
You have to give them warning.
Yeah.
They have to know what's going to happen.
But just to clarify, because I'm saying you've made a rod for your own back, I don't think that you should give in and just give them the allowance now. I think you now need to be firmer and double down and be like, no, I don't just get money for free. You are becoming an adult now. You don't get money for free.
I think there has to be a conversation there. There has to be an apology. I'm sorry that I didn't give you warning that this was going to happen if this is the case. Like, I appreciate you're frustrated because this has just been sprung upon you.
Yeah.
But this is going to be the deal.
And also one thing I'd remember is, I know some people will disagree with this, but I feel at 16, although they're still a child, you're dealing with a young adult.
Yes, there's a young adult, definitely. 16.
You're dealing with a young adult. You're not dealing with a 4 or 5 year old. It's not a case of you do as I say. You need to explain and realise what you've done wrong in that. Like, it's not a.
Yeah. Also, they're going to need help. So you're gonna have to say, right, we'll get you a job ready. I'll help you with CVs. I'll do this with you. Like, then you can't just be like, well, that's that. You're on your own. Get your own money. Yeah. Like, you're now going to have to guide them through.
Especially
that
if
process.
you haven't prepped them.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's why I don't think
that you need
prep
to
here.
earn the money. Yeah, yeah.
So I do think that's a very important next step, and I think that's important for all children, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, once again, I wasn't really helped with that next step when I was getting into that age of getting a job and stuff. I think my first job I got from the job centre because I didn't know what to do. Yeah. I just went to the job centre. And I just feel like there needed to be a better setup of, right, what do you want to do? What education does that require? Like, what are we working towards? Like, all those conversations. And if anyone's got teenage children, I think it's super important that you have those conversations with them. What is it you're aspiring for?
Absolutely.
Especially if they're like 13, 14, picking subjects and stuff like that at school. You need to be like,
right, hopefully you've already had that kind of talk with them and you know the kind of person they are.
We're hoping.
Yeah.
But obviously, this is my point. Some people wouldn't think to have.
You're
a
the
conversation.
arsehole, mate. It's done.
Yeah.
You're a fucking arsehole.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to?
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, we're doing Am I the Arsehole?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think yes, you are the arsehole, but what can you do?
What can you do?
Like
at that point?
your behaviour is arsehole-ish, but your solution is not.
Yeah. What it is, you've gone in with the best intentions, and you've shot yourself in the foot with it massively.
You're not an arsehole. You're just an arse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a hole.
And he's the hole.
He's the hole. Right, that was Am I the Arsehole? Let us know if you enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we fucking went off tangent about 400 times, but as we always do.
Do we ever stay on tangent?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Stay on topic, boys.
Yeah. What's the topic?
I love the fact that we get really deep into something and both kind of go, how did we get here?
Yeah, this is
Oh, of course, someone asked what our favourite colour was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Here are the mysteries of the universe, and I believe that's the meaning of life. Green, by the way. Green's my favourite
green.
colour.
And that's because emerald is...
And the mining industry.
Yeah. And that's why he's a good parent.
Oh.
So anyway, Dad Talk. And I'm just going to say, I hope they watch this. This is for you, Matt.
Now, if you do watch this,
Yeah.
comment down below.
Yeah.
And
Comment
say,
below, Matt.
I'm here, boys.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm here for this Dad Talk right at the end of this episode, which you stuck through. And we've done
Somehow.
lots of Dad Talk kind of midway through this anyway. But stay-at-home mothers, as dads, as we are,
Yes.
I
dads.
wanted to have a discussion, actually, regarding, one, the importance of stay-at-home mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Two, why it's important. Because I have my own feelings on why it's important. And that's going to cover nature, nurture, and progression,
Yep.
which sadly doesn't start with nay, and it would have been cool if it did, but
Nature, nurture, and next steps.
fuck me, you're just so good. What's happened to you in the last minute?
I've drawn the energy from the book.
Jesus Christ. I don't even need to be here. Fucking, this is exceptional. Anything else you want to say?
No, carry on.
Okay, right. And the other point is bringing forward stay-at-home dads.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Pussies.
maybe it won't come to that much. So stay-at-home mums and the importance of stay-at-home mums.
Just to clarify, in case you just switch off now, because I said that.
Yeah.
I don't really think that.
Stay-at-home mums and their importance. I will always believe, and it's this is what saddens me about the way the world has gone, that both parents in a lot of households need to be working to keep up with everything, because I think one parent being at home is fundamental to a working family and progression and love and everything like that for a child. I think it's, in the modern society, undervalued significantly. I think it should be promoted. I think there should be ways of working. There should be government funding. There should be whatever there needs to be to try and get as many mums or dads, one parent, at home, at least until the child is 5.
Yep.
I do think that is a sad thing that we've moved away from.
Absolutely.
And, this is why it was from that whole thing we were talking about earlier with feminism and stuff, because more women want to be working and stuff like that. And, like I say, rightly so, but I do think one parent needs to be there.
Do you think that it's a case of more women want to be working, or two other options?
Okay, yeah.
Either they feel like they have to work because of the way the world's gone, like they have to work because otherwise they're not going to be able to afford to live. Do you know what I mean? They must work and they need to bring something into the house, or they're not going to be able to pay for the house, for example. Yep. Or do you think that the media has portrayed this image of stay-at-home mums in such a derogatory way, and that, if you're staying at home, you're lazy, you're this, you're that, do you know what I mean? You're just looking after your kids, men are controlling you, X, Y, Z. Do you think that's part of the reason some women go, well, no, I can't do that because I can't depend on no man, blah, 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 and all this rubbish?
So, I think that question, I'm going to actually cover the points individually, but the stay-at-home mum, for the one you've just spoken about there, the media, I watch loads of parenting videos online, and I see a lot of mums almost defending why they're stay-at-home mums.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that's outrageous.
Crazy.
That they're defending.
Crazy to me.
You know, like, I'm a stay-at-home mum and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And
But I
think,
still do this and I still do.
And I think, fucking whatever you do, I don't give a shit. Like, well done being a stay-at-home mum or dad. Like, for me, that's how backwards the media is and the way the world is viewing it now. Is that is almost, I need to defend. And the way that people are like, she doesn't even work. She's a stay-at-home mum. That's her work.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I bring this up as well for this is because raising children is important.
Yeah.
And I can't, you know, illustrate that enough. However, where I wanted to bring this in is because I don't think people, mums, dads, should just be raising children. They should be preparing children.
Yes.
And I actually think this is a point that gets missed in a lot of parenting.
What do you mean?
I think a lot of parents raise children. They love them, they nurture them.
Right, get you. Yeah.
But I think they think school does the next bit.
Mate, it infuriates me.
The amount of children I see now, and I just see the parents, which is great, loving them, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, bro, where's the other bit? Where's the guidance? Where's that bit? And this isn't an attack on any parents that didn't do that and blah, blah, blah.
It is from me.
Okay, fair enough. But I strongly feel that the media, because, you know, they control everything apparently, should be putting forward, and I see places like China do this. But why aren't we over here? Getting your children more involved with learning other languages, learning instruments, like skills. Why are we not pushing that kind of stuff? You know, I think about tutoring.
Yeah.
Even if Atlas doesn't per se need tutoring, why wouldn't you just give them that extra step in some things? Like, you know, say
I think the thing is with tutoring and stuff like that, I think you've got to look at the financial burden of that as well.
Yeah.
It can't all just be, you know, some parents I'm sure would if they could. What infuriates me is the attitude of, well, they do their learning at school, so when they come home, they don't have to do anything. That kind of attitude. And I'm like, well, no, you are their parent. Like, you can still love and give them affection and stuff like that and help them learn.
Yes. For me, I think one of the best words that my wife taught me, really, this wasn't ever really a word for me, was boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, creating boundaries at home. That home isn't just a fun place. There are chores to be done. There's work to be done. There's so much that goes on at home. You can't just sit and relax the entire time. Because that gets in their mind, well, when I'm home, that's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
But that isn't what home is. And that's what really needs to be, like, strung into them.
And it's almost, you know, like you hear about these kids that go off to uni and are just clueless. Right. And it almost sends them into kind of a shock because
eldest brother.
They just have no idea.
Yep. Mate,
of what?
He plummeted. He studied, he's so bright, he went and studied physics. Like, such a bright mind. Couldn't look after himself.
Yeah.
Just went there and dropped out first year because he didn't know how to do the basics, which is what, like I say, when you go home, that's what massively should be done. Even like I know we've discussed before, you've recently taken Elijah to the park to train some rugby and stuff like that with cones and stuff. Just even that, like, right, we're home now. We're going to do some sports.
Yeah.
You know, something.
We're going to do an activity.
Yes.
You know, I also think one thing that I try and do a lot, I know we talk about it when I do bits and pieces, anything I do, Elijah does with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elijah, for outside of his school life, he almost lives his life with me, if that makes sense. So if I've got to go and do stuff, Elijah comes with me and does the stuff. He doesn't just tag along next to me. He will do the stuff with me. Yeah. And I think that's really important because it also, like you said, it teaches them that life doesn't stop when school finishes. Like, that's not when you just switch off, tablet in front of you, mong. Yeah. Like, okay, we've finished now, or it's the weekend. You're not just going to sit in your pants all day. No. You know, for example, Elijah broke his door the other day. He hung off the handle. Yeah, he hung off the handle.
And consequences.
Yeah, he hung off the handle. The hinge broke on the door. So on the weekend, he came with me to go and buy a hinge. We went up, we fixed it together. And got it all done together. It's not a case of you broke it, that was silly, I'll fix it. Yeah. He's going to come with me because he's broken it. He has to fix it. Yeah. It's not, it's no one else's responsibility to do it.
Help him.
Yeah, I'll help him, of course.
Him,
I mean,
the case needs to be in that.
So yeah, and I think it's important, and I think that's such an easy way of doing things. is just to take them with you. And they'll love it. Do you know what I mean?
of course
They'll
they will,
absolutely love it. So
they're with their dad or their mum.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you know, we've definitely discussed as he gets older, because obviously, I know this is the thing, is mums and dads doing chores build up such a routine that then trying to get a little involved that hasn't been involved with them since all they're being a toddler and blah blah blah. Now trying to get them involved in a routine is quite difficult.
Well, I mean, even the rare, and I say that it is rare, the rare times I do things around the house, Elijah does them with me.
Yeah.
And even it's as simple as, like, for example, when I hoover, like, his job, we got Henry Hoover, so his job is to move Henry round. I hoover, he moves Henry. He'll, like, if I need to hoover the sofas off, I'm like, right, that seat needs to be clear. He'll clear the seat, I'll hoover it, blah, blah. When we go and do the kitchen, I'll hoover the kitchen, and then I'll take, you know, when you take the hose off and it's just the hose bit, and then he does all the edges. Do you know what I mean? So simple stuff like that. If I'm doing the washing up, he's drying up. Do you know what I mean? If I, you know, every little thing that I do, obviously if it involves chemicals and bleach and stuff, he's not doing it, just to be clear. You let your son touch. No. But yeah, he'll do everything with me. Do you know what I mean? And it, to be fair, it makes it more fun. So it's great.
Better for you as well. Yeah.
Takes a bit longer, but
But that's my point, isn't it? So many people don't want that little bit longer.
yeah,
Like they're just like, it's just quicker if I do it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can definitely see that attitude. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like I said, when I left home, mate, I couldn't cook. I couldn't clean. Do you know what? I still don't know how to work a washing machine. I don't. If someone gave me some clothes, put it in front of a washing machine, and said, "Clean those," I'd be like,
Now, don't get me wrong. I know how to do all those things. I can't cook for shit.
"All right, yeah."
I to be fair, my upbringing, I was kind of spoiled. My mum will do everything for me.
Same. That's same.
And the way I noticed this is that my missus pointed out when we went back to live there, or like whenever we go there to visit and all that lot. And she's like, you just sit down. And I realise I do. Yeah. I get to my mum and dad's house and I just sit down. And everything's done for me. Yeah. She'll bring me drinks. She'll bring me food. Do you want this? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. If I wanted to, I could be like, Mum, can you grab my shoes? And she'll bring my shoes. Like, do you know what I mean? It's so bad. And I love my mum to bits. That's just how my mum is. Yeah. She does the same for my dad. She'll do everything for my dad. She'll do everything for us. Like, she doesn't stop. Bearing in mind, she worked full time as well. Like, she'd come home, she would do everything, like, and all that lot. And, you know, only till recently she's kind of retired and all that lot. But yeah, still, we'll do everything. Like, make sure dinner's done. You want food? Do you want drink? Do you want this? And it's not like simple things like, do you want some biscuits? Like, oh, do you want something to eat? Like, I can chop up some grapes and make this and do blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Mum, chill.
Yeah,
like,
don't want
just
that.
relax. It's not.
But I do.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I do definitely want that. That sounds
make
good.
that and then relax.
Relax after you've done that.
Yeah, but this is where that point I make though of nature and nurture. Fantastic. I'm so glad if parents have that. But you have to have the other bit.
Absolutely.
You have to.
Yeah.
And I see chaotic children more and more now.
Yeah.
That I think just aren't getting that second bit.
Yeah.
Children misbehaving at schools and things like that. That just, I'm sure they're lovely, looked after at home, looked after, but not being grown into adults.
Well, I think a lot of it is the video you sent me earlier. If I can put it up here, I will, or put a link to it in the description. I will. You sent me a video of. I mean, I don't really want to call it gentle parenting because it's not. It's just pushover parenting, really.
Yeah.
So it's a woman who basically is asking her son to stop watching TV.
Yes.
And then he says he doesn't want to stop watching TV. And she says, oh, you can have 2 more minutes and then you've got to stop watching TV. And then kind of bargains with him almost. Like, oh, you can have 1 more. But if after this one, it's definitely stopped. Blah, blah, blah. The son just doesn't care. Like, he does not care. Eventually, he does stop watching. But it's the attitude and the back and forth is like it's like she's talking to another adult. Like it's not her child. It's like she's talking to another adult. And the issue comes. I know I said this earlier to you. Is in the comments I was reading, and what surprising thing was it's a lot of teachers in the comments, and they're saying that the issue now is that a lot of parents are doing this bargaining and back and forth, and okay, 2 more minutes. Okay, you can have blah blah blah. And even when they're getting attitude, so that when they get to school and they've got to deal with 30 children and they go, playtime's over, time to come to class, the kids are expecting a bargain. Yeah. They're expecting to be able to go, give me 2 more minutes, give me this, give me, And it's like, no. There's 30 of you. If I bargain with everyone, that's the school day over.
Yeah.
Get in the fucking classroom.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's almost not preparing your children for how the world works.
Yeah, very, yeah. Yeah, it's,
And
fun.
you
It's
make-
so interesting you say that because there are so many things that say about giving options,
Yeah.
you know, but then you say stuff like that and I think, oh, mate, yeah, but once you get to school, there ain't options.
No.
You just, hey,
Now
it's
in
maths.
life, you get
Deal
a
with
job. You get a job.
Yeah.
You don't get them options.
Yeah.
Like you'll get everything's going to backfire on you as soon as you like step into the outside world.
Yes, it's funny enough. One of the things you bring up with Elijah, I think that's a very interesting and excellent point. Is you tell him you're not always going to get your own way. Like sometimes it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not going to want to do it, but you have to. And I think, I mean, maybe how many children are told that?
Yeah.
But it's such a good thing to be told.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not always going to be fun. It's going to suck, but
Yeah.
you just got to do things.
I find myself sometimes I have to catch myself when I do it, and I don't always. But you know when someone says "oh blah blah," and I'm like, so. I've done that a couple of times with Elijah. I'm like, so, and then I realise he's 5.
Yeah.
Explain it a little bit more, Gaz.
Yeah.
Come on.
Give me the details.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does
Like,
so
oh, but
mean?
I don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like
We have
whether you
to.
want to do it is not it's not why I'm asking you. Whether
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah, but I think so. That also comes down to time. One of my biggest things I think is explaining things to kids. Kids are gonna want an explanation for things massively.
Yeah.
And just sometimes taking the time to be like, a lot of parents would just go, so, where's the explanation?
Yeah.
Where's the extra? You know,
Because
which is
what
you're
we
giving.
understand, I think the whole because I told you to and so are, as you say, time savers because you don't want to. Because what you understand is they're not being attitudey a lot of the time when they're very young. So don't get me wrong, when you get teenagers, sometimes they are.
Yeah.
But when they're very young, they don't understand what's going on. No. So when you go, you need to pick your toys up, they go, but why?
Yeah.
Why do I need to pick
Because
my
I told
toys?
you to.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah,
Why is
but
why
what's-
is that? What does that
yeah.
even mean?
You know,
Yeah. And, like a simple explanation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
people will trip on them otherwise. They
Yeah.
might break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We can't have toys around on the floor. Like as you just said, they'll break. I don't want your toys to break. They cost money. We can't replace them. But whatever them might be.
And again, I think it's very important not to go into begging and pleading. Like, I'm not saying if they go, why, like attitude-y.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, as otherwise they're all going in the bin. That's why.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But you're not bargaining. You're not, asking their permission or anything like that. But if they don't understand, then explain to them.
the
You're trying to help
simple
them
thing
understand the world.
Yeah. This is your items. You need to look after them.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, if you're not going to look after them, I'll take them from you. You don't deserve to have them. You know what I mean? Like, because that's a lesson in itself. Look after your things. If you're going to leave stuff all over the ground, clearly you don't care about them.
Yeah.
And I'll take them.
Pro tip.
Oh, here we go.
Completely teaching about responsibility.
Yeah, great, yeah.
I said pro tip like I'm a pro. But something I found great.
Go on.
When you go on holiday next time,
Yeah.
with Atlas. Sorry, you looked at me like, what's that? And I was like,
No, I'm not. I'm like,
sorry, okay. Yeah, so when you next go on holiday, maybe when Atlas gets a bit older, actually, it's probably not great now, get an extra key card for your room and make it Atlas's key card.
Oh.
Atlas is responsible for that key. Keep your own, obviously. Do you know what I mean?
Hence you said an
But
extra.
but Atlas is responsible for that key card for the whole holiday.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what's going on. He can put it in, for example, with Elijah, he can put it in mummy's bag and stuff like that. If he asks mummy, can I put this in your bag? But whenever he says anything like, oh, I need my key card, like, well, where is it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's responsible for that. Elijah loved it.
Oh, really?
Mate, he loved having his own key card.
Bit of responsibility, yeah.
When he went to bed, he took it out of mummy's bag, put it in his suitcase. In the morning, I'm like, have you got your key card? He's like, oh, puts it in his pocket, carries it round. He comes in and unlocks the door himself. Stuff like that.
I think the beauty of that is that's responsibility kind of without consequence.
Yes, without
like,
risk.
It makes it fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is important. This is the key to the room. But Daddy's got one.
Dad's got one,
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like,
if you lose it, it's not the end of the world, but I'll act like it is.
yeah.
Fuck of it. Yeah,
get out.
I don't know what you've done. We can't even live here anymore.
That's it. Holiday's over.
But it was something that was enjoyable for him because it's kind of his first adult responsibility. If you get what I mean, it's not an adult responsibility.
Yeah, but that's my point. It's
It's
the
like
importance
here's your key card. You are responsible for this.
Yes.
You know.
No, I think that's great. Stuff like that is great.
So yeah, little pro tip for you
It's nice to have little pro tips.
from a pro.
They call me Pro Dad.
Elijah in jail for.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So I might messed up. Somewhere.
Yeah.
He's been stealing room keys from people.
Is it strange he's doing heroin at 5? Is that?
It's just to boost his creativity.
I'm trying to boost his immune system so they don't affect him in the future.
Gave him to the homeless for a week or two.
I was trying to teach him survival skills.
Yeah. Fucking hell. But back to stay-at-home parents.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. So another point with stay-at-home parenting on what you were saying earlier about financial burden,
Yes.
which was a point I was getting onto.
Yes.
This is the one, like I say, where I think government funding for keeping a parent at home should be crucial up until the age of where they go to primary school.
Yes.
Because sadly, my missus is going to have to start working at some point, I reckon, because we are on the struggle bus every day of the year. And obviously it can be extremely stressful struggling with money as much as we are.
Yep.
So I'm hoping she can get a stay-at-home job, something where she can still be the stay-at-home mum,
Yeah.
blah, 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 or a job that means when I get home, she can go to work. But that sucks in itself.
Yeah, because you don't get to see her then.
Exactly.
I think the stay-at-home job is the way forward with that. I mean, this is like a personal chat back and forth now. I think a stay-at-home job is the best. And there's so many things on now you could do online and work remotely and do X, Y, Z. I think that's the way I would push it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that they are always home, because it's very important to me. When obviously Jade was pregnant with Elijah, we sat down and had the chat of, she worked at the time, I worked at the time, what we were going to do when her maternity leave finished, because obviously, does she want to go back to work and stuff like that? And my answer to her was, I earn enough money to support us both, so it's not an issue. I would prefer that you stayed at home with Elijah, because I'd rather him raised by you than raised by a babysitter or a nanny or anything like that. But obviously, if you're keen to go back to work and it's something you really want to do, I'm not going to be like, you're not allowed to work anymore. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and just before I'm called some sort of sexist or anything like that,
Too late.
me not working wasn't an option because her wage would not support us.
Yes.
So there was no option for me but to work.
Yeah.
But she had the option whether she wanted to work or whether she wanted to stay at home. She chose she wanted to stay at home, raise a baby, which is what I wanted as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's done a smashing job. Elijah's the best. So
He is. So that's
the
fair
best.
enough. Yeah. But
better than others.
I do feel like obviously it's fantastic you had that opportunity. What do you think? Yeah, this is what I mean, though, isn't it? People just don't have a choice.
No.
This is what we're kind of facing at the moment.
I realise I'm in a fortunate position that I can do that. And I'm under no illusion that, I'm not one of these people that's like, well, if you can't, then mate, the world's fucked. Yeah. Rents, housing, mate, every single thing has gone up. First it was food, that all shot up. Yeah. Then everyone got distracted by the fact gas and electric prices went up. Now housing's fucked. That's everything.
Yeah, I know.
Has just risen dramatically.
I'm so glad diesel's come down because Jesus Christ.
But don't worry, because minimum wage goes up by £1 soon.
It's
mental, isn't it? Absolutely mental.
It blows your mind, really, that people are even trying to get by on this.
It's mad. It's mad.
But yeah, no, I think the other issue is with that. Obviously, I think my missus, she didn't realise. I think she thought she wouldn't feel not satisfied. What's the word?
Pleasured.
What? Jesus Christ. Fulfilled is the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Gaz. She wouldn't feel fulfilled by being a stay-at-home mum.
Yeah.
Are you good?
It was the fact you didn't realise at first just creased me a little bit. Oh, yeah. You're like, what?
Yeah. Did I hear that right? Surely I did. No, I did, yeah. Fulfilled by being a stay-at-home mum. She always thought, no, a career is what will fulfill me.
Yeah.
Like that. Didn't realise the task at hand of being a stay-at-home mum.
And I'm sorry, mate, but if you think a career is going to fulfill you more than that child, and that's what I don't understand. That's how powerful the media is, that it has in people's heads that a career is going to fulfill you more than spending time with that child is mental.
Blows my mind, it really does. But, me and my mum were discussing the other day about maternal and paternal instincts, and that some people just don't have them.
Yeah. Well, did you know our generation, what was the fucking stat? 77% more dads are spending quality time with their children in our generation than the previous.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me.
Yeah, because of how absent dads were previously. I think people are now realising, like, no, I need to
be
step
there.
up.
Yeah, well, it's all about learning from your generational trauma and all that, you know, like, not that, I know, my dad gave me generational trauma, but he wasn't a very hands-on dad like that.
No.
He was a great dad, but just wasn't very, hands-on in that respect. And obviously that makes one of the things I feel like I missed out on. It makes me really want to be there for Atlas.
Yeah.
I was going to say something about the film King Richard because I loved it. There's a scene where he talks about that he was getting beaten up as a kid, and he looked over at his dad, and his dad ran off. And he was like, I never ever wanted any of my children to struggle and look up to see me, and I wasn't there.
That's horrific.
Yeah. And
that is horrific.
Yeah, so he that was one of the things. He was a boy as well. It wasn't like he was a young adult getting beaten up in his dad. Like he was like a boy, and he looked over at his dad, and his dad he was like, nah, and just ran off. And yeah, he said like, I don't ever want you to think I'm going to be running from anything for you. And I feel like,
mate, 100, yeah, I'm
but,
here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And that I think that was. I'll tell you what a movie. Any parent should watch that movie.
Yeah.
And that movie massively coincides with what I was saying, that it's not just about nature and nurture, it's about raising adults.
Yeah.
It's about raising progressive humans. And that film massively shows how amazing that is.
Fair.
They live in Compton, like a really run-down area, awful. And yet he's raising them right, that the eldest goes to university, the youngest two go and be the best female athletes of all time, blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not just playing tennis; they're learning other languages, and they're doing the schoolwork.
They're
learning
smart.
Exactly.
They're intelligent. They're capable.
Yeah.
Capable is the perfect word.
That's it. Yeah.
You're raising a capable human.
Yeah.
They can deal with stuff themselves. I think if your kid's bringing you back washing to do when they're 24. Something's going wrong.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Do you know
you
what I mean?
didn't raise them in a way where they're now capable.
I mean, if they've got to 18 and they're bringing you washing back, teach them then.
Yes.
Like, why are you still... But I also... Oh, Jesus, we're going so long. I also think that parents are to blame for that, not in a way of they're too lazy to teach, but it gives them something to cling on to.
Oh, goodness me. That's
I think parents, as they get older, need to come to grips with the fact they're not needed anymore.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of parents find that very hard.
You've done your job.
Yeah. Because I always said to you, I mean, I'm quite bad for it getting him dressed in the morning because I wake up late all the time. But I've always said, like, if he can do something on his own, I will no longer do it for him.
Yeah.
Once he can go to, once he could go toilet, not once he can, because he can. Once he could go toilet on his own, I no longer went to toilet with him.
Yeah.
Once he could do this, and we're like, now he's washing himself. Now I'll no longer wash him.
Yeah.
Like, he'll wash himself. I'll be there while he's doing it to make sure it's done properly.
Yeah.
But he can wash himself now. Do it. Like, you're more than capable of doing it. Do it. And I think that's an issue a lot of parents have is, say your child comes home for dinner for a good, nice cooked meal, and it's one of their key things. They come home 3 times a week for it. Instead of teaching them to cook and be like, look, this is how you make it. This is very simple, very easy. They'll hang on to that because they need that. They almost need it. And I get that. But at the same token, you also need to provide an environment where your child wants to visit you and wants to come and see you.
And not just for your services.
Yeah, not for your services, because Mum, go and do my washing. Like,
yeah. No, I hear that. That's a big one, that one.
Yeah.
That's definitely a big one. No, I like the examples you've given there as well.
Never grow up, Elijah.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Ever.
Stay tiny.
Stay tiny. They're best when they're this age.
Yeah.
Don't want them to get older.
Yeah. Oh, what you were saying there as well is, I wanted to bring up is knowing when to let them be capable of something from a young age.
Yes.
So I think some parents, well, I mean, I'm going to use this as a very small example, but it's the only one I can think of and that I've seen happen, is like brushing teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I know parents that will brush their kids' teeth when they're way too old. It's like, let them do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a very simple task. Like, they should know by now what to do. Let them do
How
it.
old?
I think it was 7.
Okay, fair enough.
And I think the mum was still...
So at the moment, Elijah's struggling with the whole back teeth.
Okay.
So he can do it, But like, if I just leave him to do it, his back teeth won't be done properly. Yeah. So I'll clean my teeth at the same time as him. He will clean his teeth, and I'll go through it and all like that. But I'll go over afterwards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which maybe I shouldn't, but
well, the thing is there's a fault, and you're still correcting it. This parent would literally do it.
Yeah.
There was no like, you do it first.
Yeah.
And then it would be like, right, first one come here, second one come here.
Yeah.
And that was, do you know what I mean? And
At 7, that's a bit. I mean, if it can't learn to brush your teeth in 2 years, we're going to have some major problems.
Yeah. You need to start getting that looked at like this. But no, that's just my point. Is it's like knowing when to say, you're now capable.
Yeah.
Or I should be teaching you this.
You can do it. Yeah.
You can now do it.
I mean, the thing that always strikes me is people say like, oh, they're only this age, they're only that age. You look at some children who are like 3-4 years old and are like slam dunking and doing X, Y, Z and doing all these amazing things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, but if kids are capable of doing that at 3-4 years, you know, I think I watched a TV show where there was a girl who was 5 and she knew 6 languages fluently.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
crazy. They're capable.
And you think that
I know
I'm pushing
some
him?
children are more capable than others, but
Yeah, but I mean, you think I'm pushing him too hard because I want him to do this? Like, that's not a thing.
It's mad, isn't it? Talking about that, actually, a very proud moment for me the other day is obviously, as you know, I've been teaching Atlas all kinds of sporting things that I can, and he loves playing football.
Yeah.
So he'll pick up a ball by himself,
Yeah.
put it on the floor, and start kicking it around without any. But lately, he's been picking up the basketball, walking up to the basketball hoop, and dunking it himself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. Like, it doesn't need anything from me. But that's my point, is if you teach them to do something, they'll start to do it themselves. So you don't need... And he's only
Make
14
it
months
fun,
old.
for God's sake.
Yes, I mean, We've made so I taught him to play basketball. I made it really fun. So now, when he's just walking around the living room, we'll just pick up a basketball, walk over to the hoop, score a slam dunk, and I'm just like,
play.
My guy.
And you got to teach him how it runs in the streets, bro.
Yeah.
Like, fucking dunk on him.
That's it, yeah.
Bro.
I'm going to be defence next time.
Yeah.
And
slam it out of his hands.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Is that how you say it? Slam it? Smack it?
Smack it out of his
Guard
hands.
it? I don't know.
Twerk it? Oh, no, sorry.
I'm...
But yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, this is the importance of just being like, you know, let's make this fun. You'll want to do it yourself. And then they will. So even at 14 months old.
Yeah.
So
I think he's a G.
I think so. I think it's pretty G-like. Is that
I mean, I think it needs to be.
think it should we do a bit of mind mouse?
Do one. 3, 2, 1.
Apple.
Forest.
Come on.
Easy. 3, 2, 1. Tree.
Fucking
Guys,
smashed it.
like and subscribe. That is the way things roll here. We're straight in, straight out. Love you.
Love
Good
you
night.
all. See you next time.
I don't know why you wanna treat me this way.
Fuck off.
Wait till you watch that back.